Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cookie Decorating Live with Hani and Friends. I'm Hani. Nice to see you, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back with our regular live stream today. In today's demo, we're going to make Eyelet lace pumpkin cookies. So I'm starting with a fall theme. Last time we did ghost cookies. I skipped the whole fall, but I'm going back and we're going to use I think this is probably the most popular color of the fall pumpkin. What do you guys think? As always, I prepared a newsletter for you. If you wanted to check it out, I'm gonna grab a link so you can get the newsletter. It's a free newsletter. It includes the links to the tools I will be using and also tutorials that you can find inspiring. Hello, hello, who is here? I'm in the comment section now. Hello, Juliana. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Yay, thank you. Hello, Jen. You're enjoying fall weather. We are still sweltering hot here, very, very hot. Hello, Sally. Hello, hello. Pleasantly cooler. Nice to hear. Hello, Rain. How is it going? Hello, Heather from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Perfect in Tennessee. So that's great to hear. All right. So this is the live stream newsletter. You can also find it under the video in the description box. Welcome, everyone. I wanted to talk about the live stream cadence. So I've decided to go ahead and create a live stream schedule here. So we're going to be doing every other week, guys. I'm going to do bi-weekly these live streams. And I have a schedule up until November 19th. So if you have some ideas and suggestions for future live streams, please let me know in the comment section so I can fit that in. And then I will create a new one for the December, of course. So let's have a look. Who is here? Hello, hello. Oh, Rain, you're in Nebraska. I did not know that. I thought you were somewhere else in the world. Awesome, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, well, not yet. I forgot. So I already released a couple of Halloween tutorials, but maybe you missed those. This Apothecary House, it's available in the Patreon group, but it's also available as a single purchase in my shop, along with this beauty here. I'm gonna put a link again, another link into the comment section if you guys wanted to check it out. And every time you make a small purchase of either it's a tutorial or a template, you are supporting the live streams. So thank you very much. Hello, Melody. How is it going? Oh, there was an error. Of course, there was an error. Let me put it up there again. Hopefully it will go through. Hi, Kathy. How is it going? And I have one more Halloween house that I'm working on, but it's not finished yet. So hopefully next week. I also released a new tutorial on Patreon, and I can't decide, are these creepy or are these cute? Because I think they're kind of cute, maybe mildly creepy, but these are really fun to make. All wet on wet. So there's just some outlining after everything dries, but otherwise these are very quick, I find. So you can find these also in the Patreon group. And a couple of new tutorials on the blog. These are kind of late, I think, because school has already started, but maybe inspiration for next time. This is a set, and there is also another apple. It's a nerdy apple. And I have a new tutorial that's for the Halloween that's coming up on YouTube. This one is already released on the blog. If you're not familiar with my blog, I have step-by-step picture tutorials on the blog for the recipes and cookie decorating and also some cakes. And on YouTube, there's a YouTube video. I try to embed the YouTube videos on the blog, but it's not always embedded. So, and not all the YouTube videos are on the blog. They're adorably creepy, freaky cute. Thank you. Oh, yes. Yes, I did. I know I look like a butterfly. Yes, I did. I did. My funny thing, I went because the lenses were scratched, and I wanted to get, just wanted to replace the lenses, and I ended up getting new glasses because it was cheaper than having the lenses replaced. So I'm like, okay. So that's what I did. Thank you for noticing. Hi, June. How is it going? All right, so I think we can get started. For this tutorial, as you've seen, I've used the very basic pumpkin cutter. This will work with any cutter that you might have, any pumpkin shape, I think. What I wanted to tell you that when I first made these, I made a version of these maybe 10 years ago. I made them for a friend of ours for Thanksgiving. It was for table setting. So if you can imagine, just visualize it. Under the lace, you can put a name. You can write a name. You could use a little marker, or you could pipe it with icing, and you could use these as a table setting cookies, or you could even just write thanks or something like that to make these more fall-like. And perhaps you have a fall gathering coming up. You could use these for that. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Let's have a look if I can get this going. All right. So I'm starting with cutting a small opening on the piping bag first. We're going to do the first layer, and I did these in several colors. I did 4 colors: green, orange, yellow, and red, very kind of bold colors. Obviously, you could use more muted colors, but I felt like the lace is going to really pop if I do them in these bright colors. But I think fall colors, more fall muted colors, even like light brown or even wedgwood might be nice with the lace. And I'm using 15-second consistency icing here. So are you guys ready for fall and fall weather? I mean, I'm ready for fall weather, that's for sure. We've been under this heat wave for, I feel like, for a month now. So it's very difficult to do anything outside during the daytime. And I'm going to let the icing dry completely because we're going to, yes, would love that. And I think June would like that as well. June loves tea. Well, turquoise is not the same as teal, is it? It's not, it's slightly different, right? So now we have to let these dry. Ideally, you want to let them dry for 8 to 12 hours. June is also ready for the fall. Oh, you're enjoying the summer still. You're not ready for the fall at all. Well, by the temperatures here, we are not ready for the fall either, but I am. Close enough. Okay. All right. So now we're going to create a kind of a template. So to make this template, you can use, I already released a scalloped edge template, and you can use this template to create kind of like an outline on your cookie, because everybody can have, you can have like a tall pumpkin, like a different shape, and you can use that to create a template if you want all your cookies to be kind of uniform. Or you can pop it into a projector if you have one. I'm using a scribe tool, and because my icing is fully dry, I can lightly scratch the surface, and it's going to leave a really nice guide for me to pipe the outer part of the lace. And for this, I decided to use a PME tip. This is 1.5, so it's a nice writing tip. And I'm using like a piping consistency icing here. And I'm creating basically a border. We're going to fill that with runny icing. So I want to make sure that that runny icing is not going to kind of ooze out or overflow my lace, So it's going to be within those borders. And sometimes it takes a bit of time to figuring out which way it's easier for you to pipe the outer edge. So give it a couple of tries maybe, and then you'll figure out whether you prefer piping it that is in front of you or it's like, away from you. Now we're gonna get these little circles here. And I decided to add another border. Don't hate me. Summer in Florida won't end for a bit. Oh, I can imagine. You will have, yeah, I can imagine. Well, it's kind of warm there down there all year long. Kind of like here, it doesn't freeze. We don't get below freezing temperatures here, but it does cool off a little bit, which is nice. Now I'm gonna do the other side. Now, if you don't have 1.5 PME piping tip, you could use number 1. Perhaps you could get away with number 2 also, because it's just going to create a slightly thicker outline. Now I switched to a tipless bag, and this is like a 20, well, I was aiming for about 20-second consistency. I was rushing a little bit, so you can see some of the dots have like pointy ends, which I am not a fan of. But the 20 seconds should give you a nice rounded dot there. So just go around. And the reason I also option for slightly runnier icing is the adhesion. So if your icing is too stiff, I find that the dots can come off easily. So this way, my slightly runnier icing 20-second is going to make a better, it's going to stick better to royal icing and also to that border. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It really depends from project to project, I have to say. Because I ended up using also a piping tip to make, there is another element in this design that has dots in it, and I ended up using the piping tip. So it really depends how I feel. It's very moody. My piping is very moody. Heather, we are in a fall here. The high temperature will be back, unfortunately. Oh, you mean like India? Oh, I love Indian summer. All right, so now that we've done this, our kind of lace pattern is prepped for the next step. And let me grab this video here, because I want to show you the consistency of icing that I will be using. And it's quite runny. So I'm using, this is a piping consistency that I'm putting into this little dish. And I'm going to add a few drops of water here. And it's going to dilute that icing significantly. You'll see that in a second. I don't want it to be overly diluted, but I want it to be runny enough so it spreads nicely in that lace. And it's going to be flat, and it's not going to be shiny. And this is a really good example of that. If your icing is too runny, and you are wondering why it's not drying shiny, this will show you that it's not going to dry shiny, but it's going to be nice and flat, and it's just going to create a really nice lace. So this is about the consistency. It's quite, I can't even tell you how many, it's not even a second, I think. It's quite runny. You want to make sure that you stir it once in a while, because it does separate quickly. And here I'm using, this is a very fine liner paintbrush that I'm using. And I'm dropping this runny icing in there, covering this area. Have you guys done this? Hello, Judy. How is it going? Yes, something like that, exactly. But it really depends. If you have good tipless piping bags, you can get really nice line even out of those. So that's how you could fill this area with icing. And this, guys, this wasn't sped up, so you can see it's not that time consuming. Have you ever used edible sugar lace with Tylose powder? I have used Sugar Whale. I haven't used other brands because I wasn't fond of the ingredients. but I've used sugar whale successfully. But it does take some trial and error to kind of to learn how to work with it, because it is pretty temperamental, I would say, to humidity. And so I think there are easier lace products to you can use. There are not as temperamental, I think. But I think sugar bale is one of the ones that has natural, like it's not too heavy on preservatives and all that stuff. But I have not used edible sugar lace with Talos powder. I think unless I don't know, maybe sugar bale has Talos powder. I'm not sure. It does when it dries. It's so brittle. You have to actually reintroduce it to humidity, so it becomes again kind of soft, and you can apply it onto the cookies. But I have not worked with it in a while, I have to say. All right. So before we get to the next step, I also wanted to share with you, guess what? Icing break. It's time to share with you. Sally had 2 full weeks to produce cookies. As you know, those of you who are not familiar, Sally is a regular here. You can see Sally in the comment section. Sally BR, that's Sally's screen name there. Yes, Talos powder is used before. I have used Talos powder. Yes, that's correct. Talos powder I have used. I usually add it to fondant to make it like a quick gum paste. It hardens and everything. So I have used Talos powder, but not with the lace. Okay, so I wanted to show you what Sally's been up to, because Sally is a prolific cookie decorator, and she also has a blog where she shares her art and also her bread. She makes amazing bread. So without a further ado, here we go. So enjoy this little collage of Sally's cookies. I love these. This could be for wedding. And these are Oreos, chocolate covered Oreos in a sunflower form, back to school apples. Cute little farm animals with the barn. I love these daisies. Oh, love them with little butterflies. I'm really partial to butterflies, guys. And these frogs, oh, I love frogs so much. I have a lot of fond memories of frogs growing up. And of course, my favorite, cacti. We have a lot of succulents here. We grow a lot of succulents and also cacti, and they're so beautiful. And yeah, I love them. All right. So let's continue with this project. We have still few things to add, but it's not a whole lot. So let me start with. Oh, the comments are coming a little later today. Where? If you wanted to add a, if you wanted to do a colored lace, do you mean like sugar veil? With sugar veil, I think I colored. I added gel to the lace, I think. Or you could also airbrush. If you're airbrushing the lace, at least the sugar veil lace, you have to be careful because you are reintroducing moisture. So then afterwards, let it kind of air dry. So because it can become quite tacky. Yes, they're beautiful. Agreed. Have you ever decorated cookies using a projector? No, I have not. I have not. I'm old school. I'm like a dinosaur. Yeah, no, I have not used a projector. I was thinking of getting a projector, but yeah, I think it's okay. I can work around not using a projector, I guess. I'm my concern is I'm worried because you have to be a certain way when you're using a projector and turning, yeah. So anyway, this is how I work for now. But I have thought about it. but no, I have not. Really, you don't say that it's becoming your passion. We love it. Thank you for sending the pictures. So next step is to add the stem. Now the stem can be any color you'd like. I'm gonna do it brown. And for this, I'm gonna be using a piping tip. It is a pretty thick consistency icing. And it's a number, you can use number 3, number 4 piping tip here. So I'm just gonna do like a zigzag, and then I will fill, if I see any gaps there, I will fill it with like a prolongated teardrop shape. And you can see icing is thick because it's not blending together. The shape stays the same. And then to make the brown, I just use chocolate food coloring. You can also mix, if you already have, let's say, red and green, you can mix it with that. Or you could make the stem black or ivory or gold if you wanted to maybe make it more glamorous, glammed up lace pumpkin cookies. You could also paint it, even the brown stem, you could paint with a little bit of gold or bronze if you wanted to. I'm going to trim the end a little bit. And then the very last thing is to add the dots where the see-through pattern is. So let me see if I can, I think it's this one. Okay. So now you can see I'm using the piping tip. This is that PME 1.5, and I'm adding the dots onto the dry, or at least it should be crusted. It's going to take maybe 30, 40 minutes for this area to kind of dry or crust. So give it some time, and then you can pipe these dots on there. So as you can see, even though these are, these look complicated, I think they're totally doable because it's just one design, and you can do it. I'm gonna try to hold these. I have 4 colors. I don't have my extra camera here. So we have yellow. Oh, the yellow is really nice. I like the yellow. So let's see. See, so I think it didn't take that long, and my video wasn't sped up. It was not sped up. Anyone in the US buying a Powerball ticket? Oh, it's October. Please buy a ticket for me. It's 800. Wow. Okay. What would you do? Okay, guys. Okay, this is a question that everybody gets asked once in a while. What would you do with all that money? Of course, if you win, and they would, well, even if you win, they get half or something, right? The taxes. But what would you do with $400 million? Okay. So here I was able to hold all 4 cookies. So I'm curious. I guess nobody wants 800 million. Yes, it's complicated. It looks complicated, but I think once you break it down, it's doable. Oh, I would buy a house to each of my, oh, here it is. I would buy a house to each of my nieces in Brazil. I'd hire you as my personal cookie decorator. I'm very expensive. Okay, 2 nieces who don't have that. Oh, that's so sweet. Very generous. Oh, awesome. Okay, you have to do. Oh no, buy the lottery, guys. Buy the lottery. You never know. All right, guys. So as again a reminder. Oh, and I wanted to tell you this. So if you wanted to make these, but you are kind of on a fence whether you could do it or not, I highly suggest that you maybe practice. If you haven't done any piping with delicate piping with royal icing, you can find some practice sheets on my blog. This is a screen on my blog. I'm on my blog now. So you can look through. There is a table of contents here, and you can jump through here and get the sheets. I also guide you through the process of how to what consistency to use and such. It does take some practice. Like you see the lace stitch here, the cross stitch. I love that design, but it is so time consuming. I used to do that all the time when I first started, and I use sandwich bags for that. No piping tips, because there's the piping tips. Just I would have to use 00, and it was clogging up all the time. So I use sandwich bags, and I don't do a lot of these designs because they are very time consuming. I do that for special occasions. But here you can find practice sheets if you click on there in a table of contents, and you can get the templates here. So I'm gonna grab the link so you guys can check it out. This is all on my blog. And let's see if I can get the link here. Practice piping with royal icing. Okay. Me too. I love the cross stitch. That's how I basically started with the cross stitch. Yes. So I put the link there. So if you wanted to check out the templates, and you can print those and use those. It does take, I'd say, even I get kind of rusty, because if you don't do a lot of lace piping, delicate piping, it takes maybe 30 minutes or something to kind of get used to it. And also everybody prefers different consistency of icing for them. So maybe you can also figure out which consistency works best for you. And then you can go directly on a cookie. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Thank you so much for being here, for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. It was nice to see you, everyone. And I'm glad that you are having the rest of the summer. Some of you are enjoying the heat. Some of you are enjoying fall weather already. And please be sure to get the ticket. And if you win, we can all share. That's a huge chunk of money. Here, there's a big lottery around Christmas time. We never play. I mean, we used to play Powerball, but not here. But it's always fun to see the crowd buying the tickets. You are very welcome. I will see you in 2 weeks, everyone. Thank you, Judy, for tuning in today. And have a good rest of the summer, guys. I'll see you in 2 weeks.